we will start now with the loser bracket round 6. Top 24, I think. Yeah, this is top 24. So every player here has made it and has eliminated over 100 players already. So this is a very, very good performance by all of the players so far. We have Ratchet, Zack, MagoriaN, and Cap, who will battle it out for 2 seats in the loser bracket semifinal. And let's go with the first match, with the first map here. It is Weird Flags, brought to you by Thompson. A very interesting map. Was the last map on the prior round. Then we have Siphon Blur just afterwards. And yeah, the WR is occupied by Carl Jr. with a 1:03.30. Very good time. Players are warming up, but it seems that everyone has kind of made a mistake. Let me drink something in order to let my throat not get too sore, because I have 5 matches afterwards coming up. So this including will be 6 matches that I will be casting. Pack did a 26. Oof. Wow. So Pack is really showing what he's capable of doing. So Cap finishing here at first, but not with a good time, with a 1:04.84. Anyone else is kind of yeah, like memeing around kind of. But we will start now with the first round on Weird Flags. Let's see who will get the first 10-pointer. Let's follow Cap, because I've not really seen Cap playing at all in this competition. This is the first match that I'm casting from Cap. Let's go. So right now there are other matches going on, so you can type in !multi-twitch and check them out. Then of course there's also Necrura streaming, so I've not included the French casters. But it is Cap making the first mistake, so the caster's curse is kicking in yet again. We have Zack right now in the lead. Ratchet with a very strong line. Look at that. Zack is extending his lead to roughly 0.15 to 0.2 of a second. Yeah, 0.15. MagoriaN has the upper hand in this turn, so he will move up to second place. Zack is playing very good in this stretch here. Look at him go. This is looking good for Zack to clock in the first 10-pointer here of this match for him. As he is approaching, he's approaching it very good. MagoriaN and Ratchet are on a fight here. And we see Ratchet with a little bit more speed, but had to readjust his line, and he makes the bonk into the pole. So Ratchet will drop down to P4 here, and Zack will grant himself the 10 points here. Just behind him we have MagoriaN, Cap in third, and then we have Ratchet, who's able to finish, but only in last place. But great ending there yet again from MagoriaN, but unfortunately he has made the mistake there. Ratchet has made the mistake, I wanted to say. So, next round we go. Let's follow Ratchet for the first couple of turns here. As he is the 33rd player who have yeah, signed into the From Zero to Hero competition. I'm not sure if I have seen him in some competitions. He's then mainly a tech player, but he's doing good and is the fan favorite. One of the, I think, one of the only Germans left with Dexter. And Shorty's unfortunately out. I think he got 33rd or something like that, as well as Scrappy. So big upsets there from some players. Zack lagging like hell, and actually with a crash there. So maybe this lag was caused by that. So MagoriaN against Cap here for that first place. It's really close here. And also Ratchet in the mix. 4,000 between Cap and MagoriaN. Cap with more speed. Let's follow Cap here for that ending. Cap with a more outside approach. But it's actually MagoriaN who could take it. Who will take more risks here in the ending. And it's actually Cap who's not able to finish. MagoriaN in first. Then we have Ratchet in second, with 1/10 of a second behind it. Also, Zack is not able to finish. So only 2 finishes in this round because Cap has taken too many risks. So this was exactly not what he wanted. So 2 finishes. What is happening? As we go into the next round, Ratchet, Zack, Cap, and MagoriaN are all off to a good start. MagoriaN with a dream scenario here, granting himself 16 out of 20 points. Ratchet also with a good battle here in that last round, because he almost overtook MagoriaN in this section, but that wasn't the case. MagoriaN so far not with the best amount of speed, as well as Ratchet, but MagoriaN comes back strong, goes super good. But right now it's Zack against Cap here in this section, so you can see this level of this loser bracket round 6 is really, really high. Cap versus Zack here. MagoriaN with the more inside approach, so he has not a lot of speed, but this will be all in the ending again. Cap right now has the upper hand. Then we have Zack not with a good landing in the slope, finding himself on P4, and Ratchet is now also in the mix, but it's still Cap in first. But who's gonna take it? Will Cap take a lot of risk again, or will he land himself a 10-pointer? Cap in first, MagoriaN just behind, and Cap will take it. MagoriaN in second and Ratchet in third, but what a great round. What a great round. Wow, Cap with a 103.87. Great time here for the Frenchman. Very, very good. So next round is coming up. We have right now Cap, Zack, and Ratchet all between 1 point in between all of the 3 players. MagoriaN, the only player who got really a little bit further away, 8 points of a difference between him and the second place. And it's MagoriaN. Not with the best start again. Ratchet, Zack, and Cap is your top 3 right now. Ratchet has the upper end with 0.04 of a second. So looking good for the German player. Zack is also in the mix, but this is so close. Look at this Ratchet with a little bit more speed. But Cap comes back strong, as well as MagoriaN went a little bit too far inside, so Ratchet can breathe a bit. 0.1 of a lead for him. Zack drops down to last place with 0.2 of a disadvantage for him. So Ratchet on his way to grant himself the first 10-pointer. Cap versus MagoriaN in that second place battle here. MagoriaN with an inside line again, so Cap will come back strong with a little bit more speed. Ratchet is looking strong to grant himself 10 points here. Just the ending is remaining, and Ratchet will get 10 points. Cap in second, MagoriaN in third, again with a good time. Great rounds here. And then we have Zack not able to finish, so Zack will drop tremendously behind, as you can see. So now it's Ratchet 3 points behind MagoriaN after a tremendous round for him. And you can see how close this is. Zack is the only player who has lost it a little bit. And right now we can see him. No, it's actually Cap making a mistake. Zack is still in the mix, but this is certainly very good for P1 and P2, because they can extend their lead towards the third seeded player. Ratchet and MagoriaN with a good start. Zack, but is also in the mix, and he wants to have a saying. Only 13 points for him after 4 rounds. This is not looking good for the Frenchman, but he has a very good line, but so did Ratchet. I think it was MagoriaN who has made a mistake. Yes, he is, and he is not on track, so maybe he can't finish. Oh, what is he doing? What is he doing? Oh no, so he has DNF. So this could be Ratchet's chance to grant himself the first place here. And then we have Cap in third place, also finishing with 4 points then, and he will come closer towards MagoriaN, but not overtaking him. But Zack needs more than just 6 points to stay on track, or to stay in the match. Ratchet looks strong here. Very good ending for him, and he will grant himself a 10-pointer. 103.94. Great job there for Ratchet. This will put him up to 33 points, and he's occupying the first place now. Zack in second in that round, and he will move up to 19 points. MagoriaN gets overtaken here, as I've mentioned beforehand. And then we have Cap, only 2 points behind MagoriaN. So Ratchet playing out of his mind, and he shows that he is one of the best players out there. Who goes for it? Yeah, that's a good question, because we play Siphon Blur now. We can opt for an inside approach, as Zack is doing right now. Good approach. Look at this. Oh my god, you can see this is a little bit faster. Not too much, but I would say like 0.1 to 0.05 if executed good. But of course, you will not take too many risks here in this section. But still a great performance there in the warm-up here from Zack. So we've seen 2 equals here already. So this is insanely close. And so Caster knows more about that as you do, Zero. But yeah, this is a very, very hard start, and I think not even that viable, because it's so risky. Unless you're like one of the top players, you can go for that, but I wouldn't go for it either. So let's see, Ratchet now first in the warm-up, but still, I mean, nothing's set in stone here. So if you touch then on the ending, you can't make it into the end. So you have to make sure that you are able to do it good there. That you will make that finish jump. Okay, that's not a blame. Okay, going into the next round. Ratchet, MagoriaN, Cap, and Zack will battle it out here for a total of 5 10-pointers. Because we're playing 5 rounds on each track. Zack is going for it. And you can see it's not too much faster. I mean, of course, he has the upper hand with 0.05 of a second. But still, this is like very, very little compared towards other tricks. And you take so many risks for that. But it's still Zack in first place. We have Cap dropping a little bit. No, actually, it was Ratchet dropping behind. Cap in second. MagoriaN also in the mix. So it's between MagoriaN, Zack, and Cap in this part here. Very, very close fight between all of the 3 players. Everyone in between 1.1 of a second. Then we have Cap extending his lead a little bit. But Zack and MagoriaN are behind him like bees who are chasing him. And Cap is losing it a bit. So Zack and MagoriaN are in the lead. And will be all in this ending. And this was one of the most exciting endings of all of the tracks. Even though we don't have a risky finish. But this drift, you can take so many risks here and so much speed. And MagoriaN is passing it good with a little bit more speed than Zack. But Zack will grant himself a 10-pointer. MagoriaN in second. Cap in third. And then we have Ratchet in last place, granting himself 3 points. But will still stay in first place. So 102.49 I would consider as a good time. I mean, WR is a 101.77. But of course, this is with the start trick where you can, of course, you can grant yourself more than 0.05 of a second. But you can see how hard this is. Zack has dropped behind. And now we have a 3-man battle here for that first place between MagoriaN, Cap, and Ratchet. So Ratchet, after that first blunder in this first round, he's looking strong to maybe grant himself a 10-pointer. Good amount of speed. This goes for MagoriaN as well. So both players in between a couple of hundredths of a second. But Ratchet grants himself a little bit more speed, so he's extending his lead a little bit. Super risky section between that triangle for Ratchet, but still looking strong for the German player. MagoriaN is coming closer, 200s. Now he's actually overtaking him, but Ratchet with a little bit of a better approach. But MagoriaN does it really good as well, but MagoriaN losing it, and Zack will overtake him as well. So Ratchet will grant himself a free 10-pointer here because of that mistake from MagoriaN, but great performance there from the German. Not getting too pressurized by MagoriaN there. So Zack in second, then we have MagoriaN in third, and Cap is also able to finish, but only in last place with a 108.35. So Ratchet now extending his lead again to 10 points over MagoriaN. Zack only 1 point behind MagoriaN, so great comeback there from Zack on this track so far. And Cap down to last at 31 points, but this is still super close to call. So let's spectate Cap here, who seemed to struggle a little bit on this track. But of course, he plays against top-notch player. This is the 6th round of the loser bracket. So top 24 of all the players. So this is not a children's party. This is serious business. And Cap making, unfortunately, a mistake. So Zack right now in first place. And he is extending his lead to 0.13 of a second, so he's on a banger of a time. But MagoriaN comes back strong. What a ludicrous line by him. And also Ratchet is there and is right now in second place. So what a great line from both of the players. So they're really capitalizing from that mistake. But who's gonna take that first place? Will it be Ratchet or will it be MagoriaN? 300s tearing those players apart. MagoriaN for that outside approach. More speed than Ratchet. Will it be enough? No, it won't be. So Ratchet in first. 102.49 for him. But what a great comeback from MagoriaN there in the ending. But Ratchet granting himself a 10-pointer. Zack in third place. And then Cap yet another mistake for him, and therefore only 3 points for the Frenchman, unfortunately for him. Going into the second to last round on Siphon Blur, we have Cap this time around with a lot of speed. MagoriaN just behind, but what a great start from Cap. Goes super far up, and he has so much speed. Look at this. Cap is on a banger of a time, but loses this a little bit here. MagoriaN, though, goes up into the lead, potentially Oh, but looking very good for him. Cap battling out with MagoriaN. Then we have Zack and Ratchet. A little bit further behind. 0.5 of a second between Ratchet and Zack. But it is not enough for Ratchet to overtake Zack here because he has made a mistake. So Cap right now in first, battling out with MagoriaN. Good approaches from both of the players. So this will be all in the ending again. MagoriaN with a little bit more speed. Oh, this will be super close to call, but it seems that Cap will grant himself a 10-pointer here. MagoriaN actually making the mistake, and Zack is overtaking him. As well as, no, MagoriaN will stay in second and third place, and Ratchet in third, with 3 points in fourth place. And good time there from Cap with a 102.44, granting himself 10 points. And look how close this is here. 46, 45, and 44 points for second, third, and fourth place. So no player really wants to get eliminated here in this part. So Ratchet is still in first with 13 points of a difference. He's just getting those 10 pointers when it's really important. So 59 points for the German. This is really good. Really good performance by him. MagoriaN looks strong to grant himself a 10-pointer. Cap also in the mix. Then we have Zack a little bit further behind, 0.2 of a second. Battling out with Ratchet at the moment. Oh, but Ratchet with a better line here. Zack goes super far inside here in this section. Oh, so he comes closer towards both MagoriaN and Cap. But Cap still in first place. So great performance there from Cap. MagoriaN now in the battle for that last place even. Ratchet coming back strong as well. What a close round here. What is this? Oh, man. So Cap is getting attacked by both Zack and Ratchet. Who's gonna take it in the end? Ratchet with a little bit more speed. Better approach for him. Who will take it? It will actually be Zack who will stay in first. Cap just behind him. And then Ratchet. But what a great fight there in the ending. But it will stay like that. Oh, man. And MagoriaN with a 102.72 in last place. Holy moly. So Ratchet, unfortunately, only granting himself 4 points after that tremendous performance by him. Next map coming up. It is Rise Up. Rise Up. We have seen this map on the prior round as well. And this one is by MD Point. And the WR here is a 0.4 by Tween. If I remember correctly. Someone said that Tween has dropped a 0.4 here. So I certainly don't know. But this is a yeah, pretty cool track as well as all the maps in this map pack, with a lot of speed that you have to gather here and some, yeah, a lot of transitions, as you can see, a lot of jumps which will start your drift. As on the prior maps we had triangles, we have jumps on this map and transitions, and this infamous ending, of course, where you have to jump into the finish. So I will show it to you real quick. You have to clear this turn and then jump into that finish here. This can be a really hard task to do. Let's see what Cap is doing. If Cap is doing it, really hard jump to do. And yes, he does it perfectly fine. You can misalign it really easy, but Cap is clearing it good. And Ratchet just finishing behind him, but not with a good time. And now we will go into the first round here. Theoretically, it can be Ratchet. Wait a minute. Ratchet starting later. What is happening? Ratchet missing the start and finds himself 2 seconds behind. This is bad stuff for him. Oh no, oh no. So MagoriaN, Cap, and Zack are battling it out for that first place. But unfortunate stuff there for Ratchet. Hopefully his technique is fine. Or his devices, let's say like that. That's the better word. Cap with a very good line, as well as MagoriaN, but Zack also with a lot of speed. So this is very close here between all of the 3 players. Of course, it is Ratchet who cannot have a saying. And right now it's between MagoriaN and Cap. Zack fell a little bit behind. Oh, and Cap with a very good line comes closer towards MagoriaN here in this section. So Cap is really pushing it. This will be all in the ending. MagoriaN gets overtaken by Cap, but what a great section there from Cap here. Look at this. So all in the ending. 500s between both MagoriaN and Cap. MagoriaN is going for the risk as well as Cap, and both are passing it. So Cap will take that first place with a 104.04. Good time from him. But half a second away from the WR. And then we have Ratchet, of course, starting later. So Cap will go up to second place now after that one. Next round on Rise Up is coming up now. Oh, Ratchet almost failing it there, but it has worked out for him. As we can see, he is right now in the mix. All of the players have survived at 800s, with 8/10 between, no, 800s between all of the players. So we have Cap right now in third place, Ratchet and MagoriaN. Oh, Ratchet fell a little bit behind, so Zack coming back strong with a good line. But of course, this is very, very close to call here, as we have MagoriaN, the only player who's really found himself some room. But just when I said that he has made the mistake and he is dead and not able to finish, and this is super bad news for MagoriaN, because he's right now in last place with 55 points, and Zack also with a mistake. So it's between Cap and Ratchet for that ending. Can Cap come closer towards Ratchet, or will it be Ratchet who will grant himself the 10 points? Ratchet with a good line here, but Cap will take it. Great ending there, great round. Cap in first and Ratchet in second place. So Cap up to 70 points. So great ending there for him. And it's actually only Cap and Ratchet finishing. So they have accumulated a very a reasonable margin here of 11 points between that third place. So Ratchet on his way to eventually win another round. Or to go up another round after dropping down from the quarterfinals. But he had a really strong opponents. So great performance by Ratchet so far. Oh, but super risky here for him. Didn't lose too much speed with that. In Trackmania Nations, you would definitely have bugged there. But still good for him. Zack goes super close there to the pillar, but didn't come in touch with him. So Cap still in the lead with 0.1 of a second roughly. But Ratchet comes strong with a little bit more speed. And also with a good line here, but Cap will still remain in that first place. Zack is also in the mix. MagoriaN also here with 0.1 of a second. So this will be all in this ending. Cap with a good section as well as Ratchet. It's Zack falling behind MagoriaN as well a bit. And it's Cap versus Ratchet again in this ending section. MagoriaN does it also really good, but who's gonna take that first place? MagoriaN will actually overtake. No! MagoriaN is failing the ending. And MagoriaN again with the DNF. Oh, you have to be kidding me. So MagoriaN again with the DNF, and this is not good for him. Cap moving up to the first place, Ratchet in second. Then we have Zack with 63 points in third place. And this is very bad news for MagoriaN. Very bad news for him, as he is in last place right now with only 55 points. Of course, he has the pace, but not looking good for him so far for the Elementaries player. But this time around, he has a really good start. Look at this, a dream start for him. Ratchet 1 second behind. Then we have Cap fighting it out for that second place between Zack and him. But if Cap wins 2 consecutive rounds, he is finalist. But of course, this is easier said than done if you play against a player like that. Oh, Zack with a very good line, as well as MagoriaN and also Cap. So all of the players are pushing it, as you can see. Cap goes for so many risks, but this is the do or die. All of the players are clearing it pretty good. So Cap with more speed than Zack, but didn't get the best transition. So MagoriaN still in the lead, but Zack comes back strong. MagoriaN stumbling in the end, so this will be all in this ending jump. Zack, MagoriaN, who will take it? It will be MagoriaN with 6,000 of a second over Cap here. Zack only granting himself that last place because Ratchet went for that risky finish and granted himself 4 points. So great job there for him, but also for MagoriaN, who's now up to 65 points. So MagoriaN now 65 points, but what a close fight there in the ending. All players have pushed it there. And we will go on to the last round here on Rise Up. After that, we will have Cascade. A really cool map, I have to say. And yeah, this time around it's only Ratchet who is falling a little bit behind yet again. Zack with a risky approach, goes super close there, didn't release or didn't readjust his line, so nothing really has happened to him. Cap and MagoriaN are fighting it out here for that first place. MagoriaN, of course, still in dire need of some points, but he's losing it there in this part, so he's falling down to P4, but has a little bit more speed than Ratchet here. Zack, Cap are now your P1 and 2. It is Ratchet who is dead and is right now in last place. MagoriaN and Cap are in P2 and P3. Zack is looking strong to grant himself a 10-pointer. Let's see, one jump remaining for Zack, and he will do it. And Cap is up to 92 points. Zack up to 76 points, and it's MagoriaN at 69 points. So, great comeback there from them, but Ratchet seems to struggle here on this track. He's certainly very happy that this track is over. So, Ratchet in second with 85 points. Still a good performance for him so far, as he is getting closer and closer, even with those 3 points finish, to the final status. So now we have Cascade by Kiesler and Wormy. The WR is a 106.16 here by Carl. So that was the daddy time here. And the best time that was set yesterday was a .30. And I'm sorry, but I have to clean my nose because Heuschnupfen is killing me. Wait a minute. Okay, so release a little bit of pressure from my ear. That felt pretty good actually, as players are currently warming up. So you can see this risky ending here. We have to squeeze your car just between that hole and the underground block on the left. If you clip this, you will of course lose some time. But you can either flip into the finish, or you can also land down here, which is certainly not the thing that you want to do. So Cascade is coming up now by Kiesler. And let's follow MagoriaN here, who's in dire need of some points. 69 points for him. Super far behind already, because players are getting closer and closer towards that finals attempt. Of course, you play till 100 points, and if you have surpassed this 100 points threshold, you will activate finalist mode, and you have to win one more round in order to grant yourself a ticket into the round 7 of the loser bracket. So those will be the loser bracket semifinals. Let's go. Cap with a good start again. So Cap looks strong. If he wins one more round, he will grant himself the speaking of finalist mode that I was speaking about. But right now it is MagoriaN in first place. But what a close fight here between all the players. Ratchet right now in last with 0.1 of a second behind the players. But he's granting himself a lot of speed over that stretch. Cap, MagoriaN opting for a little bit of a different approaches there. But it's still impossible to call. Every player in between each other of 1/10 of a second. So this will be all in the ending. Cap, Zack with a very good amount of speed, as well as Ratchet, who will take it. Zack with a touch. Cap could grant himself the final status, and he will do so. Cap with 10 points. Ratchet with 6 points, and it's only MagoriaN who grants himself 4 points here. And Zack is not able to finish. And this is good news for MagoriaN. So Cap now in finals mode, and Ratchet up to 91 points. Zack and MagoriaN are 15 and 18 points respectively behind Ratchet. So this is Ratchet's time to grant some points here. And let's see, MagoriaN now with a good start. Look at this, he is popping it. And MagoriaN is really on a good time. As you can see, he's 0.1 ahead of Cap here. Ratchet is a little bit further behind, but still is in the mix. And now the second part of the track is coming. The second part is coming up. MagoriaN does it really good. Cap as well. Cap with more speed, but it won't be sufficient only for Ratchet. And Yeah, this is in the ending for the second place. Cap versus Ratchet here in this part. Ooh, Ratchet with more speed. Cap with a mistake. And MagoriaN looks strong. Oh, to actually win this round. Yes, he will. MagoriaN in first. Zack in second. And then we have Ratchet in third place. And it is Cap not using his finest attempt. And yeah, Ratchet up to 95 points. MagoriaN 83 points, and then we have Zack with 82 points. Cap still finalist. You don't lose your finalist modes when you have not passed it. This would be too exciting then. So let's go to the next round. Cap again with a good start here, as well as MagoriaN. So MagoriaN is pushing it. He could move up. He could move himself up to 93 points if he wins this round. Ratchet needs second place or more to grant the finalist mode. So good turn there for him. Great turn. And then we have Zack here, also in the mix. So what a close fight there for that second place. Oh, but Ratchet making the mistake. So this is not good. This is not good. Zack and Cap, but Cap also with a mistake, so only one more mistake for Ratchet in order to grant himself the finalist mode here. But of course, mistake is easier said than done here, as MagoriaN is on a banger of a time. As you can see, only 0.05 of a second behind his former set time here. Oh, but Zack with a very good ending, and Zack actually, no! It is Ratchet granting himself the first place. So Ratchet up to finalist mode. What happened there in the ending? Both Zack and MagoriaN have choked the ending. So this was a blunder and a half. So we have a double final situation now between Cap and Ratchet. MagoriaN at 89 points and Zack at 85 points. So this was very lucky for Ratchet there. Going into the second to last round on Cascade. Cap with a good start. Ratchet is a little bit further behind, so this is not looking good for him. As we see Cap and MagoriaN also fighting back strong here to to Zack, who is right now in the first place. So this is looking good for Zack, that he can grant himself 90 plus points and could deny Cap the victory. He was of course very close behind here, but Zack with a mistake, just praising him, and he has made the mistake, so Cap could win it here as he is right now in first place. MagoriaN has to take huge risks because he finds himself a couple of hundreds behind. Look at this, Cap is on his way to win the loser bracket round 6 and go into the loser bracket semi-final, but MagoriaN is also there with a lot of speed, so only 1 car length between both of the players. MagoriaN coming back strong, and MagoriaN will win it over Cap and will snipe it. What a round! Oh man! And Cap gets denied by MagoriaN with a very good ending there, and MagoriaN now with 99 points, Zack with 89 points, and we could see a triple final situation coming up here if MagoriaN or Zack wins a round here. So what a crazy round 6 here that I'm witnessing right now. It was Cap and Ratchet who both went a little bit further away, but MagoriaN and Zack came back strong. Came back strong. Just like that. Broke back moment. And now we have Cap and Zack and also MagoriaN, who are right now in the top 3. Ratchet not with a good line here, as you can see. So this is not Ratchet's map, as you can see. Not looking good for him. As we see Zack right now in the first place, and Cap. Actually, it's Cap, so this is impossible to call it. Zack making a mistake, and it's again MagoriaN versus Cap, but this time around the gap is more than 0.07 of a second. It's 0.2 of a second between Cap and MagoriaN. So MagoriaN has to take huge risks in order to overtake Cap here, but MagoriaN will activate the final status anyway, but still he could deny Cap the victory here. But this is looking really good for Cap. 1 jump remains, and Cap will take it. Cap is through. What a great performance from Cap. GG. So Cap is through, and now we have MagoriaN and Ratchet, who are battling it out for the second place. And also it is Zack, who is only 1 victory away of finalist mode. So this is do or die for all of the players, as we are on Crompots now which I think Zack was really happy about. Or some of the other players. So let's go here. Let's go with the warm-up on Crompots. A map that really got my attention, or the performance, good performance by Pack. He played very, very impressive here. So it's of course by Kronos and Omnipots. That what's the name about Ratchet and Zack, both with a mistake on that speed check there. Then we have a no jump that you have to perform here with a little bit of a steer to the right. Your right back tire touches the roadblock first, or the banking first, and then you have to steer to the left just in that moment in order to let your nose go down, and then you will grant yourself the best speed out of that possible. So greatly executed there from MagoriaN. And yeah, then this ending, of course, we have to gather a lot of speed over this stretch, so MagoriaN does it really good. And then a jump into the finish, which is rather easy, and now we will see who will take it. Ratchet, Zack, and MagoriaN are ready. MagoriaN DNF'd before the ending. Zack is making... Wait, what? Hello? Can you... Okay. I thought he finished because he jumped down there, but that wasn't the case. So, the round is starting here. MagoriaN and Ratchet are finalists, and then it's Zack tasked to deny both of them. So Zack could grant himself finalist mode, and we could see a triple finalist situation here coming into the last round. But it's actually Zack and MagoriaN who went for that inside approach, and also Ratchet has a good amount of speed. So this is all in the second part of the track here. Ratchet is clearing the speed check as well as all the other players. So Zack, Ratchet, and MagoriaN with a very good turn here, but MagoriaN has the upper hand here. So MagoriaN goes up in the lead. Great comeback from him. MagoriaN with a good no jump, good amount of speed, and MagoriaN now up into the lead. It's looking good for the Elementaries player. MagoriaN with a lead of 0.27 of a second. This is looking good for the Elementaries player. Zack just too far behind, as well as Ratchet, and MagoriaN is on his way to grant himself a ticket into the loser bracket semi-final here. What a great round from MagoriaN, but it's Ratchet coming a little bit stronger because 0.2 of a second between both of the pairs, but MagoriaN will take it, and MagoriaN will move into the loser bracket semi-final. GG. So great performance there for MagoriaN, great comeback from him. He was in last place, just consider that, as well as Pack, as well as Cap. And unfortunately it's Ratchet and Zack dropping out of the tournament, but still a very good performance by both of the players.